Hi, good evening. I'm Juliano G. Today I'm going to talk about my SBA report. Import random is for random moves and lucky draw. Import CSV is for reading or writing records to file. Import OS means operating system. It means for checking if the player file exists. So the board row is 6. The board columns is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 in total. Board columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in total. The player file is player.csv. Let's talk about the print of board function. So for column in board, the line is equal to the empty strings. Empty strings. So for I in range length column, the length of the column is 7. So the value of I is 0 to 6. Um, the line equal to 9 plus column I. It adds the empty cells to column I. This means it sticks the next cells onto the right hand side of the original cells. So if I is less than 7, the line is equal to the line plus the strict lines. So let's say the value of I is 0. 0 is in the range of the length of column. So the new line is the empty strings plus the column 0. So the new line becomes the empty strings in column 0. So if 0 is less than 7, the new lines become the the empty strings in the column 0 plus the strict lines. So it becomes the empty strings in column 0 with the strict lines. So after the first looping, the value of I become 1. So now the new line is the original line plus the column 0. The original line is the empty strings in the column 0 with the strict lines plus the empty strings in the column 1. So now the new lines becomes this. So you can see the empty strings in the column 1 is stick on to the right hand side of the original cells. So if 1 is less than 7, the new lines becomes the empty strings in the column 1 with the strict lines and with the empty strings in the column 1 plus the strict lines. So you can see the strict lines is in the column 1 with this. So after many looping, when the value of I becomes 6, the system will print the line here. So print dash times board columns times 4 minus 1. So let's say the board columns is 7. 7 times 4 minus 1 is equal to 27 times the dash. This means 27 dashes will appear in the board. So let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So print free empty space dot join string I for I in range block columns. For I, the value of I is 0 to 6 because the range is 7. So now in this code, the system will turn the integer to strings. The integers are 0 to 6. They will automatically turn to the strings so that they can stick together by the dot join. And then each of the numbers is separated by 3 spaces. So let's say I delete a spaces in here. So you see the number is shifted to the right, to the left foot. This will affect the player to choose the correct column and to determine where the placement of the piece is. So for the function of create board, so let's say the board is equal to empty. It starts with a whole empty board. The row number is 0 while it is looping. While 0 is less than 6, the row equal to the empty string times the board columns. Empty string times 7 is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in total. The board is equal to board plus the row. It takes the whole list row and join it onto the end of the board. It means it keeps adding a new row until it reaches the maximum. The maximum is here. If you don't use it, the system will put the row with empty strings and the board is empty. Also, if you don't add the plus, only one row is created and presented in the board. You see there's no empty strings. If I delete the plus symbols, only one row with the empty strings is created. So let's say the row number is 0. The first, sorry. So let's say the row number is 0. 0 is less than 6. The new row is here. 7 empty strings in the row. And the board row and sorry, and the board row is equal to the row, and the row number will become 1. 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. So when the row number is 1, 1 is less than 6. The new row number is 7 empty strings, and the board is here. The board, the original board is here at the bottom of the board of the game. We plus the row, we plus the empty row. So you can see there's two rows with the empty strings in here. So after many looping, when the row number becomes 6, the system will return the board like this. You see. So for the drop piece function, for row in range board rows -1 -1. Sorry, it's -1 comma -1 comma -1. So it checks the row in descending order, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. In range 3, 4, 5. It is a descending order. So if the board row column is equal to empty, if the current cell in the column code and the row is empty, this is a placement. Board row column equal to piece. So put the player symbols into the empty cell, which means the empty cell is the placement. So let's see. So let's check. So the system check here. The row is 5. The column is 0, and you see in here that there's no any pieces appear. So the system can determine this is the empty cells, and this is this is the placement there's no because it is empty. So the system can so when users place the piece in here, it will drop to the bottom because the placement is equal to the piece. So this creates an effect of the gravity acting on the piece to that it fall to the bottom. So it returns false if the loop finished without finding an empty cell, which means the column is full. So is valid location. If bot 0 column equal to empty, it checks every column of the row 0 is empty or not, because it is important to remind people are still placing their piece in the full column. So it returns true if the column has space. However, if the column in if each of the if each every column of each row 0 is empty, so it returns false if the column do not have space. So you can see its valid location is important for for here. If not its valid location, the column full. I will talk about it later. So let's talk about definition. The check winner function. So in horizontal, so for C in range block columns, the total of C is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it iterates through each column. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For R in range, the block rows 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For R in range block rows -3. So it becomes for row in range block rows 7 minus 3 is 0 to 4. The value of the C is 0, 1, 2, 3. For R in range block rows is here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. For C in range block columns -3, 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. So the range of C is 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So the reason that I use for C in range 0, 1, 2, 3 is because if you start at the column 46, the pieces will go outside and create an error. For example, if you put the column 4 in here, the second piece is here, the second piece is here, the second piece is here. 7 is not existing in the column 0 to 6, so it is out of range. So you cannot place the pieces in here, and the check win cannot check the player's win, since the 7 is not in the range. It's not in the range, and they're not consecutive in the horizontal. So if the bot RC equal to pieces, bot RC plus 1 equal to pieces, bot R plus C to C, bot RC plus 2 is equal to pieces, and bot RC plus 3 equal to pieces. So now you see the first placement of the player G is here. The row is 5 and the column is 0. I mean, if let's talk easy. Um, you see these um four pieces are consecutive. Um, the row of the four pieces are 5. However, the four columns of them are different. So the columns is 0. The ball columns is 0 plus 1 equals to 1. The bot columns of this of it is 0 plus 2 equals to 2. The bot columns of here is 0 plus 3 equal to 3. So these pieces form the four pieces are consecutive in horizontal, and the type of the four pieces are the same. So here, so the check movement can determine the players win the game by placing the four pieces in a horizontal line. So let's talk about the vertical. So wait, for the C range board columns, the velocity is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. For R in range the board rows minus 3, it means so it becomes for R in range 6 minus 3 is 3. So the range of R will become 0, 1, 2. The reason that I set the range of R is 0, 1, 2 is because if you start at row 4 to 5, the pieces will go outside and create an error. So for example, 0, 1, 2, 3. If I place here 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean the 6 is not exist in the column 0 to 5. It is out of range. So the computer cannot check the winners because the 6 is not in the range of is not exist in the column 0 to 5. They cannot see the pieces are consecutive in the vertical lines. So yeah, for example, if the bot row bot RC uses pieces, bot R plus 1 uses pieces, bot R plus 2 uses C, and bot R plus 3 uses C equal to bot R plus C R plus 3 C equals a piece. Sorry. So let's talk about zero. The column of the four pieces are 0. However, the range of however the row of the four pieces are different. So it checked. So the system will check the row equals 0 first, and row 1 because it is for our invention for rows minus 3 it is a loop. However, the computer cannot see any pieces appear in row 0, 0 or row 1, so it skips. So now pieces is appear at row 2. So the board rows is 2. Board rows is 2 plus 1 equals to 3. Board rows in here is 2 plus 2 equals to 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And the broad row in here is 2 plus 3 equals to 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the system can check the 4 pieces are consecutive in the vertical, and the type of the 4 pieces are the same as X. So it can determine the player G wins the game by placing 4 pieces in the vertical lines. So for the negative diagonal and positive diagonal, I will explain briefly because I'm running out of time. Sorry, I have to talk this code. So you see the positive diagonal in here. So the player so after the system use this code to determine determine the 4 pieces are in a positive diagonal. So the system to check the 4 pieces consecutive in a positive diagonal, and the type of 4 pieces are the same. So you can determine the players win the game by placing the 4 pieces in a positive diagonals. So the reason that the row is the R in range 3, but was the value of R is 3, 4, 5. It's because if you place too high, like this, the piece will go outside and create the error. We have negative number. So let's say the first piece is in here. The row is equal to 2, 2, and 2 minus 1 equals to 1. 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. 2 minus 3 is equal to negative 1. Negative 1 is formed by 2 minus 3, and it is out of range. Because in the range I set it, because I set the range is 0 to 5 in column, and there's no negative number appears. So yeah, it will create error if you place too high. So for the R in range, the broad columns, broad columns minus 3 is equal to 7 minus 3 equals to 4. So the value of C is 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. I mean, if you start too close to the edge, like here, for example, here, the piece will go outside the right edge of the board. For example, the column is here, but the pieces is placed at column 4. So the first value of C is 4. Second is 4 plus 1 is 5. The third piece is 4 plus 2 is equals to 6, and the last piece is 4 plus 3 equals to 7. 7 is out of range, so you cannot place here, and the system cannot check the win. So for the negative win, is the situation is the same as the positive diagonals. So if you start too low, row 3 to 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, the piece will fall out of the bottom and create or for example, row 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean 6 is not exist in the column 0 to 5, it is our range. So for the columns, if you start too far right here, the piece will fall out of the right edge. So for example here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean those. I mean 7, 8, 9 is not in the range of the block column, so the system cannot check the player wins. So for the get valid columns, excuse me. Sorry, sour throat. For the get valid columns function, the valid columns is blanket. It starts with an empty list for the computer. For seeing range with the computer here, for seeing range of block columns, it goes through the column 0 to 6. If the file location board possibly C, I mean if the column is not full, the valid column is equal to valid columns plus C. For example, the valid column is blanket. If the C is equal to 1, equals to 0, the valid column, the new valid columns becomes 0, and is saved to the list. So when after the first loop, when the C becomes 1, the valid column is equal to 0 plus 1 equal to 1. So now the valid column is 0, 1. So after the looping, the computer can find out 0 the column, the value of C 0 possibly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are empty, and it is available for the computer to choose pieces to place in column 0 to 6. So for the function of the computer move, the valid columns equals to get valid columns. So if the valid columns, it return the random choice valid columns, return none if no valid moves available. So for example, if you see the column 1 is valid columns. I mean, if the column 1 is checked and it is available for the computer to place in get valid columns. So in the computer move, the valid column is equal to column 1, which is available for the PC to place. So after that, PC will random I mean after checking the get valid columns spot in get valid columns, or the system check the column row 0 to 6 are available for the PC to place the pieces, so the valid column is equal to 0 to 6 in columns. So if the valid columns if we return a random choice valid columns, so this means the computer can put the pieces in column 0 to 6, and the computer can randomly choose the valid columns. For example, I place the pieces X in the 0 and he randomly choose the column 6 to place the pieces. So we return none if no valid moves available. Sorry. So for the load players function, the players equal to empty blanket. It creates an empty players CSV file. So if the OS path exists player file, to check the CSV file exists in the operating system or not. If the CSV file exists in the operating system with open players file dot new line blanket as CSV, open the file of it exists in operating system. So the read date is equal to CSV dot read the CSV file. The reader can read the file line by line, turn the data into strings, and it automatically split fields correctly. Oops, wait. Aha. Um, for row in reader row, if length is higher, if length of row is higher or equal to 2, and try the player row 0. It ensures the row has both a player name and a score in the reader. You see, so 1, 2, the row 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Try player row 0 equals to integer row 1. Row 0, 2. The data in CSV is stored in strings. The score should be converted to a integer so that you can add the mod. You know, when the data is saved in the Excel, all of the data will be on the strings. I mean, if you want to add the mod, you have to change the strings of the number to the integer type. I mean, the test type should be changed to integer so that you can add the mod. So, except the failure of error continue. So, if the data is not correct, the except failure error will accept the wrong data and continue to work in CSV file so that the CSV file will not crash and stop immediately. It will continue to work. So return to players. So for the save players function, with opening the player file .w.new line like as CSV file. So the W means enable the write mode to make a change of data in CSV file. The new line is equal to blanket prevent the extra blank link. The reason that I use the CSV instead of a TST is because it provides tabularized structured data which can read and write it easily. You see, I can see it clearly, I can write clearly. Also, it avoids passing mistakes like name with comma, value have quotas, extra spaces, etc. For the function of back to the save play function. So with the open place file w.new lines equal to blanket and CSV file, the W enables the write mode to make a change of data in CSV file. New lines equal to empty prevent extra blank link. The writer equal to csv.writer CSV file. It enables the system to write rows in the CSV file. Here. So for name, wins in player.items. The reason that I use the player.items is because it gives us each player.key name and player.value number of wins. You can see the player.key and player.value in the code below as pair of backdating because it gives us each player.key and player.value as pair at the same time. So write row name wins, comma wins. Um, it writes the name and the number of wins in each row. So for the display players, sorry. For the display players, print the player record. So if not players, if there's no player, it will show no. If there's no players in the playlist, the system will print no player record available. Otherwise, for name wins in players items, the system will print the name for the player and the number of wins. So here. So oh yeah, display the player records. Display players is is in charge for, as the players are in the player list, so the system can show the number of wins and the name of the players. So for the bubble sort function, name equal to list where dot keys. It is end user length names of I range. Oh, let me show you something. The bubble sort is in the oops sorry. It's in the choice 6. This is sorting. And in the choice 5. So the bubble sort is a simple code. However, I add the lower blanket in here because it can make the bubble sort alphabetical in human expected way, not in ASCII order. I mean, for example, if the lowercase if the lowercase is in front of the uppercase, if I do not use the lowercase to change all the value in the bubble sort become the lowercase, the uppercase will place in front of the lowercase, and this creates an error. So if I change the lowercase, for example, the lowercase is d, lowercase is d, and the It can make the bubble sort alphabetical in the human expected way, not in ASCII order. Wait. Mm, for the binary search function, left right uses zero left join zero the target name. Searching is here. Binary search is in the choice 6. Make search G bad one. Here. So during the searching, the counter will count the number of the compare. It is useful for debugging or understanding the search process. So if the player found in the computer list, so computer list, the system will return the player is in the lucky draw list. Let's see. Oops. All right. Wait. The system will return -1 if the name not found. Like here, name is not found. You can see X is not in the sorted player name list. So for the function of the managed players, managed play choice is equal to 3, the managed players you see. So if choice equal to input select option here, if choice equal to 1, the name is equal to if I press 1, the name equal to input enter new player name here. And if it's not a name, the print planning can be empty. So I just press the enter button in here and the system showed player name cannot be empty. So if the name is not in the player, example X is not in the player name list. So, if name is not in the player name equal to 0, it print the player at. So X is not in the name list and the system will turn it into a new value. So this means the system will check the X is not in the name list before and it allow the X to be added in the player name list. So after that, the system will print player added. So, or else print player already exists. As I have added the player name X before, so when I add the X in the enter new player name, the X is already appeared in the player name list, so the system will print the players already exists. So for the choice 2, enter the current name. So old is equal to input enter current name old. If old in player, for example X. Oh wait, let me show. I should show you. So X is here. X is in the player records. If I add X is so the X is old, so new. So if old in players, the new equals to input and the new name X. I press X, X become so the the new becomes X. So if not new, so so I press so if not new, the system will print new name cannot be empty. So I just press the enter button here, and the system print new name cannot be empty. So if the new in players, the new name already exists. So for example, oops, X. If I enter the X in enter current name and I and I keep entering the X in the enter new name, in new name, it will print new name already exists because the X because because you have added X in the player name list, and if you change the name the the current name X to the new name X, nothing happens. So the system will print new name already exists. So, so if I um um change the name, for example, and not X is, for example, if I change the name X to the M, the system will print name changed. So let's see. So here the original name is X, now is changed to M. So what else if they not found? Oh, oops, sorry, my bad. M they not found here. So the so you can see the M replaced the X, and if I enter the X, the system will print player not found because X is gone. So for the delete player, if you want to end play, oh, oops, delete player change equal to 3. So if the name is equal to input, the enter name to delete the name. So if the name is in players here, delete the player name, and the system will show player deleted. Oh, you can see the player M is removed because um the player M is in the players, and the system can delete it. So if I press um the enter button in here, the system will show player not found. So if I press choice equal to 4, the back, it will return to the main menu. However, if I press the enter button, or I enter the number until 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, and etc., the system will show invalid options. So for the lucky draw function, the sorted name, the lucky draw is in choice 5. So the sorting equals bubble sort players. You can see this is the sorting. So if not sorted, print no players registered for lucky draw. I mean, if there's no players in the player name list, the the it's not in the player list, there's no sorting occurs. Also in the so if the players are in the player name list, the player names will be sorted and appeared in the lucky draw sorted here. So the winner is equal to the random choice sorting. So when I press the 5, the system will randomly choose who is the lucky draw winner. So now you can see the system randomly chosen the player G is the player G and set the player G becomes a winner. See the print. So for the search lucky draw function, the sorted names is equal to the bubble sort, and the search lucky draw is in the choice 6. So bring the comma. See. So first they will join together, and they have, and each of the name are separated by two spaces and a comma. So the name inputted equal to input, enter the player name to search here. So the index equal to binary search sorted name. So if index is equal to -1, the print the F is in the lucky draw list. So if the system can find the index of the player G, so it will show the number of comparing, and the system will print G is in the lucky draw list. So if I press the empty button in, enter the player name to search. The system will search the empty in the sorted player name list by 3 times, and if they cannot find the index of the empty, so it shows empty is not in the lucky draw list. So for the delete player record, now you see the original player records is here. So if I choose choice 7, if I press Q, player Q is deleted. Name is if the name is in place, Q is in players, so you delete the name and print the player name player Q deleted. So now you can see the player Q is deleted from here. So if I press the enter button, or I just enter the wrong name, it will show player not found. I mean, the system will show player not found. So for the function of the player games, the bot is equal to create bot here. Sorry, and here it create the bot. Like here, it create a bot with 6 rows with the empty strings. And player pieces is you choose X or O. So the turn, so let's set the turn equal to 0, and then you print the bot. So while true is looping, the current is equal to turn 2. It alternates between 0 and 1, switching players each turn. So the player 1, so the current play equals to P1 if the current equals to 0, or else P2. So the pieces is equal to the player pieces current. Print the current turns. So G turns here. P1. So sorry, the current equals to 1 if the players is computer. So the current equals to 0, which means the player 1 or player 2. So column move. The computer will randomly choose the placement in here. So in column is none, it print no value moves left is a draw. This means if there's no space, the game ends and it is a tie. Print the column, or else try column input. Set the column except the value print in value input presenter number. So I use try and except value error to ensure that if the players enter the wrong column, and the system will not crash and stop me immediately. It will continue to process and ignore the wrong input. So if the column is not in the range, of board rows 0 to 6, if I press 7, it will say the system will print invalid column. Try again. If not, it's valid location. So let's see. Oh, sorry. If I say if not is valid location, the column full try can column. So now the system check back to the is invalid. So the system check each the column 0 and the row 0s. So now the system found that the row 0 has a piece. So if the H accidentally clicked the 0, it will return the false, which means the column is full. So So the system will print column through trying another column. So if the check winner, I mean printf wins. So yeah. So after this match, the check winner in the system can check the 4 consecutive pieces in the vertical line, and the 4 pieces are the same. So are the same. Sorry. So are the same. So the system can determine when the player H win the game by placing 4 pieces in the vertical lines. So so the system will show the current player wins here. H wins the game. So current player usually play get current apostrophe 0. Current player apostrophe comma 0 plus 1. So it update the number of wins in the display records. If the place isn't yet in the dictionary, use 0 as the default. So now, let's see. You see the original wins of player H is 4. So after this code, so you can see the number of wins of the player H becomes 5. So break if odd not is valid location for C range. Um, this means if the 4 pieces are places in if the pieces are fully placed in here, and they cannot form the horizontal line, vertical line, diagonal, a negative diagonal and positive diagonals. Sorry. And this check winner cannot determine who win the game. So the system will print it is a tie. However, I will not do it because it is hard to show you that the system can print it is a draw. The and you can find out the image of the draw situation in the report. Sorry. So the turn plus equal to 1 to ensure that the next player takes the turns. So if I do not add the plus here, it will not the player can infinity play the game, and the other player cannot play the game. So yeah, it is important to ensure that the next player takes the turn. So the feedback file, feedback.txt, the txt is here. Let me show you something. Txt file here. Sorry. This in the function of save feedback. Print, we have love to hear your feedback. So when I enter the the choice 8, the feedback. Please wait the game. It will print. We would love to hear feedback. And while true, the rating is equal to input. Please enter the game from 1 to 5 here. If the rating in the 1, 2, 3, 5, I mean in the if the rating in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 it breaks, which means, so let's show you something. If you can enter any comments. Please enter to skip here. You can skip the comment, yeah. So if I enter the wrong number, the system will show invalid rating. Please enter a name between 1 and 5. Let's say 5. Any comments I say? If I enter the comments, after entering the comments, the system will show thank you for the feedback here. So now, with opening the feedback file, with opening feedback file A encoding UTF-8 as F, the encoded system is Unicode. So F write the F players P1 over P2. So the last match is player G versus player H. So see. F right players P1 over versus P2. The last match is player G versus player H. You can see it. So the F result, the result is none, and the F rating, and the rating is 5. You can see the player entered the 5 in. Please rate the game from 1 to 5. And if the player do not enter any comment and press the enter button, so here, so when opening the feedback.txt, you can see there's no comment in here. However, the players entered the comment in here, so we can see the comment GDG GDL. So F right times 40 times here. Dash times 40, you can see here. You can see 40 of dashes in here. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 45, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. You can see the UTF-8, the Unicode. Print thank for feedback here. So the function of the main menu. The players use load plays the last game equal to none. To store the P1, P2 result. So you see. Stop. This is the last game. You see here, it start the P1 result. So yeah. Wow, true looping. It prints the connect for here and the print the and print this. Choices 1, choice 2, choice 3, choice 4, choices 5, choices choice 8, 6, choice 7, choice 8, choice 9. Choices equal to input the choice here. Input the number of the choice. So if choice equal to 1, display the the player records here. So P1 equals to input the play, enter player name 1, player 1 name. G, enter player 2 name, P2. So yeah, you see, if player not in players, if player 1 in players or P2 not in players, both players must be registered. See, I only player G entered his name in enter player 2 name. The enter player 1 name is empty. You can see the player name, the player G enter his name in enter player 1 name, and enter player 2 name is empty. So this situation will in this situation, the system will show both players must be registered. So if they enter the names, they will play the games, and the result will be the result will be saved in the last game and save the players. So else choices 2. We display the players, the player records. So P1, enter your name. P2 is computer. So if P1 not in players, so for example, I press M, players must be registered because M is not in the player records. So if P2 is not in players, the player P2 uses 0. So the sorry. The reason that the player P2 is 0, the computer is 0, because computer is not registered. I mean, it adds it with 0 wins, so the system can believe that the computer is a human player, so the computer the computer can play the game. So, result true. Because another reason that the computer can play the game is not only the player P2 the computer equal to 0 is equal to zeros, the result play game player P2 vs computer equal to true. Because the system starts the game between human player P1 and the computer P2, passing the vs computer equal to true to enable the computer move. The random choice. So choice 3. So here, choice 3. Choice 4. Display the records. Player records. Choice 3 is add player edit name, delete name, and back. Choice 5. Lucky draw. Choice 6. Search lucky draw. Choice 7. Delete player. Choice 8. Save the game. Oops. You save the result of the last game and the comments. Sorry. Skip. And choice. Oh, else if choice equals to 8 if the last game save feedback last game. The system will save the result of the last game and comments in the txt file. So or else print no gameplay yet. Play a game before leaving feedback. I mean, if there's no match, if there's no competition, if you press enter the choice 8 in here, system cannot let you enter the comment because you haven't participate because you do not participate in any competition. So choice 9 is we leave the game and save the players. You save the names, save the records. So you print the goodbye. So or else if I enter or else print the invalid option if I enter the wrong number. Example 10. You will see invalid option. If I enter the 9, the system will print goodbye. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.